Welcome to this guide on everyday phrases for giving your opinion. We all share opinions every day, whether at work, with friends, or in casual conversations. But have you noticed that some people express their views in a way that feels natural and confident, while others struggle to find the right words? The difference often comes down to knowing which phrases to use and when. In this presentation, we will organize opinion-giving phrases into clear categories based on their purpose. By the end, you will know exactly which phrase to reach for, depending on whether you want to sound confident, cautious, surprising, or collaborative. So why does it matter how you phrase your opinions? 3 big reasons. First, clarity. When you start with the right phrase, your listener immediately understands your intent. Are you sharing a personal view? Are you summarizing? Are you disagreeing? The opening words set that context. Second, confidence. Using the right phrases helps you sound composed and self-assured. Even if the topic is complex or the room is divided, the right words project calm authority. And third, respect. Good phrasing shows that you value the conversation. It frames your opinion as a contribution to the discussion, not something you are forcing on others. Think of these phrases as tools in your communication toolkit. The more tools you have, the better you can handle any conversational situation. Here is our framework. Instead of memorizing random phrases, think about your intent. What do you want your words to accomplish? We can group opinion-giving phrases into 6 clear categories. Category 1, share with confidence. Use these when you want to state your personal view with conviction. Category 2, cut to the core. Use these when the discussion has become complex and you need to highlight the essential point. Category 3, state the obvious. Use these to point out something that seems self-evident and ground the conversation. Category 4, simplify and summarize. Use these to reduce a complicated idea to its most basic form. Category 5, introduce a contrast. Use these when you want to present a surprising or opposing viewpoint. And Category 6, offer a friendly take. Use these when you want to share your view in a warm, approachable way. Let us explore each one now. Category 1, share with confidence. These phrases are for those moments when you want to own your opinion and say it clearly. The first phrase is, the way I see it, we should focus on quality over speed. This opener is powerful because it says, this is my personal lens. It takes ownership without being aggressive. The second, from my standpoint, this is the stronger option. Use this when you are clearly picking a side. It is direct, but still respectful. Third, my view is that we need a different approach here. This works well when you are proposing a change. It is clear and professional. And fourth, I am convinced that this strategy will work. This is the strongest of the 4. Use it when you have real conviction and want to project confidence. Notice the pattern. All of these phrases start by signaling that this is a personal view. That is important. It shows you are sharing your perspective, not claiming to have the only answer. Category 2, cut to the core. Every discussion sometimes drifts. These phrases help you bring it back to what matters. First, the main issue here is that we are running out of time. Use this when the conversation is going in circles and you need to refocus everyone. Second, what it really comes down to is the budget. This is great for boiling a complex debate down to one critical factor. Third, the heart of the matter is customer trust. Use this when you want to name the fundamental concern that everything else depends on. And fourth, let us not lose sight of what matters most here. This is a gentle but effective way to redirect without criticizing. These phrases are extremely useful in meetings. They show leadership because they demonstrate that you can see through the noise and identify what is essential. People respect that ability. Category 3, state the obvious. Sometimes the most valuable thing you can do is name what everyone is already thinking. These phrases do exactly that. First, clearly, this is not working the way we expected. Use this when the results are right in front of everyone and someone needs to say it. Second, it goes without saying that safety comes first. This reinforces a shared value or priority that should not be forgotten. Third, naturally, the deadline changes everything. Use this when a new fact makes the conclusion self-evident. And fourth, Of course, we need to consider the impact on the team. This is a gentle reminder of something important that might be getting overlooked. A word of caution though. These phrases are powerful, but they can come across as dismissive if overused. Use them sparingly, and only when the point truly is obvious. If you start too many sentences with clearly or obviously, people may feel like you are talking down to them. Category 4. Simplify and summarize. This is one of the most useful categories for professional settings. When a discussion has been going on for a while, people appreciate someone who can boil it all down. First, in simple terms, we need more time and fewer distractions. This signals that you are about to make something complicated feel manageable. Second, to put it simply, the old system is not keeping up. This works when you need to translate a technical issue into plain language. Third, at its core, this is a resource problem. By stripping away the details, you help the group focus on the root cause. And fourth, here is the short version: we need to change direction. This is a great transition phrase. It summarizes the situation and leads naturally into a recommendation. People who can simplify are seen as clear thinkers. It is one of the most respected communication skills you can develop. Category 5. Introduce a contrast. These are some of the most powerful phrases in everyday conversation. They signal that you are about to shift the direction of the discussion. First, interestingly, the data tells a completely different story. This is powerful because it uses evidence to challenge assumptions. The word interestingly softens the contradiction. Second, on the other hand, there is a strong case for waiting. This classic phrase presents the other side of the debate in a balanced way. Third, what if we looked at this from the opposite angle? This is a question, not a statement, which makes it feel collaborative rather than confrontational. And fourth, that said, there is one thing that gives me pause. This is elegant. It acknowledges the positive first, and then introduces a reservation. It is a phrase that sounds thoughtful and measured. Use these phrases when you want to bring a fresh perspective without creating conflict. They are especially valuable in brainstorming sessions and strategy discussions. Category 6. Offer a friendly take. Sometimes you want to share your opinion in a way that feels warm, approachable, and low pressure. These phrases do exactly that. First, if you want my honest take, I think we should wait. This is great when someone has directly asked for your opinion. It signals openness and honesty. Second, just between us, I think the first option is stronger. This creates a sense of trust and informality. It is perfect for one-on-one conversations. Third, for what it is worth, I have seen this approach work before. This is modest and grounded. It offers your experience without sounding like you are lecturing. And fourth, I might be wrong, but I think there is a simpler way. This is a brilliant phrase, because the humility at the start makes people more receptive to the suggestion that follows. Friendly phrases are especially important when you are newer to a team, or when you are offering opinions to people with more experience or seniority. They build relationships while still letting your ideas be heard. Now let us see all 6 categories in action during a single team discussion about a product launch. You start by sharing your view confidently. The way I see it, we need to rethink our approach to this launch. As the discussion gets complex, you cut to the core. What it really comes down to is whether we can deliver on time. Then you remind the group of something obvious. Naturally, we also need to factor in the client feedback. The conversation has generated many ideas, so you simplify. In simple terms, we have 2 choices: delay or reduce scope. You then introduce a contrasting perspective. Interestingly, the last project succeeded precisely because we chose to reduce scope. And you close warmly. For what it is worth, I believe the team can handle either path. See how naturally these 6 categories flow? Each one serves a different purpose, and together they create a compelling, well-rounded contribution to any discussion. Now, an important warning. Some common opinion phrases can actually backfire if you're not careful about tone. First, the word obviously. While useful in moderation, it can sound condescending. It implies the listener should already know the answer. In formal settings, replace it with, it is clear that. Second, to be honest. This is extremely common, but it subtly implies that you have not been honest before this moment. Replace it with, my candid view is, or simply drop the prefix and state your opinion directly. Third, no offense but. This phrase almost always precedes something the listener will find offensive. It does not protect you. It just puts the other person on guard. Simply state your opinion respectfully, without any disclaimer. And fourth, everyone knows that. This makes anyone who did not know feel excluded or uninformed. Replace it with, it is widely recognized that, or just state the fact directly. The lesson here is that words carry emotional weight. Be thoughtful about the signals your phrases send. Here is your quick reference. Just one go-to phrase for each intent. For sharing confidently, start with the way I see it. For cutting to the core, say, what it really comes down to is. For stating the obvious, use, clearly. For simplifying, begin with, in simple terms. For introducing a contrast, try, interestingly. And for offering a friendly take, say, for what it is worth. You do not need to memorize every phrase from this presentation. Start with these 6. Use one new phrase each day, and within a week, they will feel natural. The goal is not to sound scripted. The goal is to have the right words ready when you need them. Let us close with 5 key takeaways. First, think about your intent before choosing a phrase. Ask yourself, do I want to sound confident? Do I want to simplify? Do I want to introduce a different angle? The answer will guide your word choice. Second, own your opinions. Use phrases that show conviction and personal ownership. Third, simplify often. People deeply respect those who can take something complicated and make it clear. Fourth, be mindful of tone. Some common phrases like, no offense but, or, obviously, can backfire if used carelessly. And fifth, practice daily. Pick one new phrase each day and use it in a real conversation. Within a week, it will feel completely natural. Thank you for watching. Remember, expressing your opinion well is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It is about being the clearest and most thoughtful one.